Kay one more round of applause for her. We do a lot of these trade shows together all over the world, really, and I also always get a lot out of her work in addition to you guys, so thank you, Kay. So I am Marty Hurwitz. My clicker is over here. So just give you a little overview of what we're going to do in the next hour as a warm-up for Shane. Tell you a little bit about who I am. I'd like to hear a lot about who you are. We're going to talk about holiday past, present, and future. But maybe in a little different way than we used to hear it. And I want you to participate because I'm going to rattle you a little bit with some statistics about the industry and about your stores and about other stores and what's working and what's not working and where we're going. So, in my book, information is more valuable than inventory, even at today's gold prices. So I really need to get feedback from you both today, and I want you to challenge me if you think something is quizzical. But more importantly, I'd love to hear from you when we're all done, and you can email me a brief note about what you thought about my presentation today, and I will give you $250 worth of conversation on the phone with me or one of my team to personalize some of the stuff we're going to talk about here today, specifically to your store. So send me an email at that address or scan that QR code on your phone and you will get my page and send me your comments. That'll come up again in the presentation a little later. Information is more valuable than inventory. That's my first challenge to you today. Kay was good at it?
Over the podium, up here.
Okay, so who we are. MVI provides research and market development for the global gem jewelry and watch industry. Gee, that sounds fancy, but the truth of the matter was 30 years ago I was an independent jewelry store owner just like you guys. So I had some research experience, market research and marketing experience in other industries. And when I sold my store, I opened up MVI and started selling market research to the jewelry industry, which was really foreign territory. So that's what we do, and our client list is pretty broad, includes manufacturers, mining companies, retailers. So now who are you guys? How many of you are retail store owners? Show of hands. All right. Staff? Okay. Manufacturers? Anybody? Press? Oh, just one. Others? I don't know what they might be. But, and who's here just for the snacks? Yeah, okay, that's right. You hit the jackpot today. Most of the other shows don't have anything. Okay, so we're going to talk about the past. How many of you saw this movie, Total Recall? Pretty good movie. It's okay. A lot of action. The best part in it was right when the guy goes into the recall center, and the staff guy says to him, the past is a construct of the mind. The heart wants to be in the present. Okay, so what you think the past was probably isn't really what it was. In fact, it was so personalized to you that you're living it in your mind. You don't really know what it was. You've changed it over 1 million times. That's true with your business too. The only thing that really matters is today and what you're going to do this holiday season. As I told my daughter this past week, look, we're going to worry about the past only and so we can learn from the mistakes we made. We're not going to fix those mistakes. We're going to learn from them. All that really matters is what we're going to do today and this holiday season. My daughter proceeded to completely ignore me at that point. Okay, here is the past for the jewelry business. 1946, more babies born in the U.S. than ever before, 3.4 million. 1947, 3.8 million. 3.9 were born in 1952. More than 4 million were born every year from 54 to 64. Why is that significant? Anybody? Nobody knows why? I can't hear you. Speak up, sorry. That's right. As soon as I get this slide to switch, you'll see. The independent retail jewelry business was built on the backs, of the baby boom generation. Every one of us that was in retail or is in retail now grew on the backs of that generation. Just the same as the whole country grew and every other industry grew. What was specific about that business for jewelry retailing were just 4 highlights I can tell you, but there's a lot more. 1, generational transition sales, no marketing, I'll explain that in 1 minute. Neighborhood community brand affinity for the local retailer. Male gift givers predominant, and diamond bridal engagement rings representing 75 to 90% of your total sales. 95% of your total sales. In some cases, 100%. What is the key thing here? Generational transition sales, no marketing. What does that mean, anybody? You didn't have to advertise. When a son or a grandson or a great-grandson was ready to get engaged, their father schlepped them into your store. No advertising, no marketing, effectively no competition. Okay, a little clip from the Los Angeles Times. Now this is my phrase for all of you and for everybody in business. Demography is destiny. If you understand the demography of your consumer and your target consumer, you will grow your business. Is there anybody that doesn't know what demography is? Don't raise your hand, I'll tell you. Okay? Demography is the study of the population, where it's going, what it looks like, where it's from, where they live, where they're moving to. 30 to 40% of the country moves every year. Okay? So, the demographic bulge of the 70 million baby boomers that has driven the U.S. economy and market trends in each decade since World War II. They powered the housing market. They exploded brand name consumer goods, including jewelry. And in the 80s and 90s, they drove the stock market. Today, they are disappearing. They are leaving every 24 hours to the tune of 10,000, turning 65. What happens when we turn 65? Well, we basically stop spending. Now, get back to that demographic de-evolution for baby boomers. Let's talk a little bit about the present. Today, statistically, consumer demand for jewelry is very strong, and in fact, it's growing. How big is the U.S. market in jewelry, total retail sales? Anybody? Approximately. $65 billion. Approximately 50% of the world's jewelry sales at retail. It's about 130 globally. Retailers are growing, believe it or not, but they're doing so, still selling diamonds, but they're identifying non-traditional products and new consumers. And that's where we got to go if these baby boomers, which were the backbone of our industry, are retiring. Also different, and I'm sure you've seen this, is consumers are armed with more information about products and many more places to buy them than ever before. And guess what? 95% of consumers use web search first before they buy anything. Anybody disagree? Because Google is making a heck of a lot of money with this very flat. So if you're not in front of them, if you're not present in that search, you're missing out. Not necessarily on your existing customers, but on your new customers. And that's the new generation of customers. So here's a portrait of 4 of today's present-day jewelry consumers. And I'm sure each of you have seen these guys in one form or another. And I would love to hear some of your experiences with them. Number 1, the anti-internet shopper. They know their favorite jeweler has a website, but they would never dream of visiting it. They do not use the internet in their daily lives anyway. How many of you have this customer? Right. They probably hair like this, huh? Okay. They're waiting for that internet fad to die off. That whole World Wide Web thing, man, that's just a fad. Okay? This group is dying off. Number 2, the research-only consumer thinks they would never buy jewelry or watches on the internet, but they will research products to death, and particularly prices, and then they will walk into a brick-and-mortar location to look at the live piece they think they want and buy it or not. This is cream for you. You want to get in front of them when they're researching, and you want to upsell them when they walk in the door. And if they walk in with that Blue Nile quote, they're sold already. People think they come in with that Blue Nile quote, you can't compete. You can't compete on price, but that's not what you're selling anyway. Okay, so this is the guy that's coming in with that printed out sheet. I'm sure you've all seen that. Everybody seen that? Yeah. Number 3, the comfort shopper. They know which retailers they like and trust, and will buy from them in their store or on their website. It's all the same to them. This is the holy grail. These are your brand fanatics, your brand advocates. They're spreading your gospel for you to their neighbors and friends. This is where you want to be. This is your 20% sweet spot that you want to get to 25%. Number 4, the internet shopper only. With selection, price comparison, ease of use, they go to the internet first to help them decide, then they buy what they want. They have little to no retailer loyalty. Okay? Tends to be a male. Okay? Probably going to be hard for you to get them anyway because they're heavy price focused. They're doing it for convenience, they're doing it for price, they're not doing it for the things you have, which are, as Kate says, real lasting value, service, romance, emotion. They're not looking for any of that. That's why they're men. Think about that for a minute while I have a brief technical moment. Thank you. Much better. See, it wasn't me. It wasn't operator. Okay. Back to these baby boomers we talked about before. Baby boomers and World War II generation consumers are quickly finishing their discretionary spend and their brand spending. The recession put the final nail in my brand spending. And I was the youngest of 5. I'm at the tail end of the baby boomers. You imagine what my brothers and sisters are doing. Okay? They're either going to stop spending or they're going to be working at Walmart in a couple of years. Nobody wants that job as the greeter, okay? So this generation is going away. This built many of your stores. You want to help them out if they come in. I'm not saying kick them out. Don't kick them to the curb. I'm just saying if you want to build your business, this is not what you're going to do. You're going to do it with the 18 to 40-year-olds who will never shop the way their parents and grandparents did. For them, it's not just about the product. It's about the engagement with you as the store, the brand owner of your brand, or the brand distributor of somebody else's brand. You are to engage them in your business, in your product, in your romance, in your emotion, in your lasting value, in the investment, in helping them with this, as Kate says again, this incredibly significant moment in their lives. The good news is, if you do that, they will come back, and we want them back 4 times a year, not 1. And this goes right into the next point of shelf space being the most expensive cost in your business, because inventory that doesn't move with this 18 to 40-year-old group is costing you a fortune. Make the sale, make the customer, move the product. Does anybody dispute that? Any questions? Anybody think I'm nuts? Yeah, you're just nuts. Okay, so also in the present, these are the other factors affecting your businesses. We work with a lot of mining companies and a lot of larger manufacturers and a lot of industry-wide groups. So in addition to retailers, we see a lot of things going on that maybe you see, maybe you don't, but we just look at it every day. One, the diamond pipeline is evolving, and primarily that means shrinking. There's not enough margins from mine to consumer to cover everybody that used to touch a diamond. So that margin is going away, and it's really obvious to the consumer because there's so much information to them about it. Okay? If you're a $10,000 diamond purchaser in the second marriage, $10,000 or greater, it's your second marriage, I'm pretty sure you know what wrap is. And I'm really sure you probably know somebody in the industry in New York or somewhere else that will sell you some stones. There's so much information about pricing and about location of product and distribution of product that the bigger diamond customers are literally in your wheelhouse. That's the evolving diamond pipeline. The mines are almost shutting down because the bigger mines are shutting down or selling off because they can't make enough money digging the stuff out of the ground. The site holders, everybody know what a site holder is? A rough cutter that buys from the mine. A site holder is competing against you directly. They're not selling it to a guy in New York who's selling it to you. They're selling it to your consumers. And where are they doing that? Online. Blue Nile's inventory is site holder, prime cutter inventory. Blue Nile does not stock diamonds in Seattle. Okay, the site holders, the cutters, give Blue Nile a database of their inventory every single day. Somebody buys it at Blue Nile, the cutter ships it to Seattle, Blue Nile distributes it. So that same site holder probably isn't selling to you, unless you've really got a lot of money. They are selling it on to you through one or two brokers. So your margin is really restricted. That's the evolving diamond pipeline. Prime manufacturers are going retail for brand channel power. How many of you carry brands in your store? Non-watches. Give me an example of a brand. Levian. Hearts on Fire. Anybody else? Garage. Big brand. Simon G. Great brands, great movers, really bring the consumers in. Terrific social media. Levian in particular, Veragio in particular, Simon G. very good. But where do they go with that? Where's the future for that? Okay. You're their brand ambassador. You're on the front line talking to their consumers about their brand. Let's say you're really good at it. Let's say you move a lot of that product. And I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's talk a little bit about what happened with Tiffany in the 90s. They went to retailers like you guys in targeted markets. They set up store-in-store boutiques, Tiffany product. They did it with Carlisle in North Carolina. They picked retailers that had strong community brand strength. They put up store-in-store boutiques. The stuff sold really well. Carlisle loved it. Everybody else that had it loved it. 2 years later, Tiffany pulled it all out, took all the consumer demographics, all the customer info, and said, thanks very much. Those retailers got royally screwed. Now, these brands that you're talking about here, not Tiffany size yet, but I know how they're going to grow, and they know how they're going to grow. So, prime manufacturers are going retail. Hearts on Fire is already there. Pandora's already there. They're doing it with you. Those are licensed stores. You can buy those franchises if you want. They're doing it with you, but they're, make no mistake, they're going e-commerce, they're going direct to consumer with or without you. Generational purchases are eroding. There's no marketing sale to that grandson coming into the store. You have to compete furiously for that. You have to compete furiously for that. Only the independents that understand this, my theory, are going to survive and in fact thrive. If you don't see this, or if you hide your head, a couple of years down the road you're going to be in trouble. Another critical demographic is the self-purchasing woman. 4 times a year we want her in the store. We'll talk about this more in a minute. Custom design, very important. If any of you are not doing it, I suggest you head very quickly in that direction. And finally, the Hispanic consumer, the Hispanic demographic for jewelry is wide open, as are many other ethnic groups for jewelry. For the most part, the American jewelry industry is ignoring them. This was an incredible article written in the Wall Street Journal a few months ago. You can download it at my site. You don't have to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal to get it. It was about the self-purchasing woman. Are there any self-purchasing women here today? What a surprise. What is the #1 thing you buy multiple times a year? Shoes. We added on a wing to my house just for the shoe collection. And I don't have to understand it. I don't really want to try. But it is, okay? Now we gotta get the woman that buys shoes many more than 4 times a year into the jewelry store to buy jewelry many more times than 1 time a year. Or worse, waiting for her man or other to buy her something. Amen. We ain't waiting no more. So that's the goal. That's the demography that is happening in the jewelry industry right now. You get that woman in your store, now you gotta have product for her. You gotta be able to talk to her. You get that woman in the store, you're hitting a home run. And everybody's racing to get that woman. Except the independents are racing much slower than the majors. So come to the site, download this article. It will blow you away. Okay, a couple of quotes from some other noted experts. Gen Y shoppers spend 5 times more than their parents did at the same age. That's unbelievable. So it's okay the baby boomers are going away, because the next gen's going to spend more, assuming you can get in front of them. They're not walking in the door with their father. If a lot of young people use the internet to search, but then go to a retailer that carries what they like, there's a very good reason for this. This was that #3 of today's consumer profiles that we did. There's a very good reason for this. We're going to talk about it, but this is an opportunity for you. Okay. So, here's a story. This is not statistically valid, this is one story. But it happens to be very close to me, and I bet you've got stories like this too. So, who knows what Yelp is? Okay, when you go back to your room tonight, look up Yelp and set up your own company Yelp page. Because I guarantee you people are looking you up on Yelp already. And they're 18 to 40 years old. It is a consumer review site. And it's incredibly powerful and popular. And nobody 18 to 40, for the most part, goes shops before they see what's called UGC in the web business, user-generated content. My nephew, my sister's youngest, very smart kid, Harvard med, runs my side of the family. He calls me up, this is about a year ago, he calls me up and says, Uncle Marty, I'm getting engaged, what should I do? Okay, how many times have you heard this, right? So I said, are you really sure you want to do that? He said, yeah, I'm in love. Okay, great. What have you done so far? This is what he's done. I went to Yelp. I saw a retail store in Cambridge, Mass. It had great reviews. I went into the store. This is before he called me. I went into the store. I took my fiance with me, who's also a Harvard member, and we picked out a 2-carat diamond with a beautiful mounting. I said, "Are you out of your mind?" He said, no, I have a financial advisor. I've saved up the money. I've got it. We got it under control. Now, sure, he's going to be making a lot more money than me. Remember what I said, that this next gen is making much more and spending much more than their parents did at the same age. Okay, so he's now over $10,000. He's looking at $12,000. I said, okay, thanks for calling. Here's what I can do to help you. So it sounds like you're doing fine. Here's what I can do to help you. One, I can send you to New York and you can sit in the diamond dealer's office. You can buy the stone directly. You'll still have to get the mounting somewhere. And you might save a little bit of money. Two, I can send you to some independent stores in the Boston area that I know. And you can bring your fiance in and you can look around and see what they got. And I'll tell them to give you a good price and you can see what happens. Okay. Three, I can have some friends of mine ship you some stones to your apartment tomorrow. You can pick what you want and send back the rest. Okay, he chose 2. He didn't want to go to New York. He didn't want the stones. He just wanted to go to another store with his fiance together and look at more stones, more inventories, more rings. So I sent him to some great stores in Boston. I didn't even know the store he went to originally. Okay? They showed him everything. He went to 2 different locations, 2 times each. At the end of the day, went all the way back to the first guy that he saw on Yelp and spent $14,000 and was thrilled. Called me up and said, I got it, it's great. I said, just get some insurance on it, and God bless. And he's getting married a couple of months. So the point of the story, not statistically valid, sample case of 1. However, Yelp is where the action is. If you're not in there, get in there tomorrow. People are writing things about you, not all good. And that's not necessarily bad. People are writing bad things about you. Even if you respond quickly and regularly, that's okay. So if you write something bad to you, say, sorry that happened. Happy to get on top of it. Come on in and see me. I'll give you a discount. I'll make it right. Okay? You've got to be in Yelp or any other review site seeing what people are saying about you. Second point of this story, it's not a surprise engagement, man buying for woman anymore. Much more we're seeing in our research. It is a shared romantic experience to shop for the wedding, for the engagement. Well, that's right up your alley. You're not going to get that on Blue Nile. You're not going to hover around the screen and love the romance of Blue Nile, even though Blue Nile's trying to make them do that. You give them that. That's what they want. They want the trust and confidence. They want your value adding. Okay, we're moving into the future now. Before we do, any questions so far? How am I doing? Doing okay? Very good. So I don't want to lose the job. Yes? All right, we're going to talk about that. But the best thing to do with it is get rid of it. Any way you can, at any price you can. Move it. Your shelf space is really expensive. And you're not going to get that 4-time-a-year customer with old inventory. But before we get to that, let's talk about CRM, Customer Relationship Management Software. Anybody know what this is? Show of hands. Beautiful. Most of you may already have this integrated into your POS systems. A lot of the top POS systems are integrating CRM. I assure you, every one of your major competitors is heavily involved with CRM. CRM is a field of software. It used to be called contact management, used to be called database management, now it's CRM. It is the ability of software to capture with your input, as much information about your customers as possible, and then report that to you on a moment-by-moment basis. You walk into the office, you say, who's got an anniversary today or in the next 2 weeks? You run a report in your CRM software, you get somebody to call every one of those guys. You walk into your office, you run your CRM software, you find out what's this month's, who's got birthdays this month where you can sell them sapphires. CRM software is extensively used by major retailers and websites to capture information, archive it, house it, and report it back to the store owners, the site owners, so they know two things. One, how to make their marketing spend most effective. Two, how to develop new products to get in front of customers, not old products. Who's using CRM? Great. Somebody tell us something cool you're doing with CRM. Love that. Love that. Great. Very effective use of CRM. Anybody else over here? Go ahead. Sorry. She runs a report monthly. She sends personalized notes based on information she's capturing, invites people into the store, or even calls them. Sorry.
We use it in a number of different manners. One, we send out periodic email blasts to people who purchase things within a certain time frame or purchase specific brands with new products coming in. When we have our annual holiday party, we open the database for people who have purchased a certain amount within the time frame. And again, we send out hard mailers for when a new product comes in that they purchased before.
Beautiful. And did you say you had Levion?
Yes.
Okay, so Levion would be one of the brands you might target with that?
Yes.
Great. Somebody else? That's a great example.
By the way, Levion Pinterest.
Yes.
And Levion, when we pin something from Levion, that gets the most reaction out of all the different things that we're pinning everywhere.
Great example. Pinterest photos, and I'm going to tell you why, specifically about Levion, that happens in a minute. Great example. Thank you. Anybody else using CRM effectively in their stores right now? Anybody else using CRM ineffectively in their stores? Anyway, by the way, it's pretty easy to use now. These stories that you just heard are terrific and not that hard to do. It would be very easy for you to run a report and say, between October and December last year, who spent $5,000 or more, run that list and make sure they're coming back this year. Or who buys a brand from you. Okay, 10 ways to appeal to younger consumers. Write these down. No, I'm just kidding. Send me an email, I'll get you a copy of the presentation, or you may have that on your sheets already. 1, have a great website. Who does not have a good website and is not ashamed to raise their hand? You're waiting for that whole thing to go away, right? Could be cheaper. In fact, it's free. You can build a website for free. Alex was up earlier today. You can go to him. He will give you a spectacular website because he knows the jewelry business. A spectacular e-commerce platform that you can use very quickly. If you don't have a website, you should be embarrassed to hold up your hand.
Who's that?
Alex is right here from Gen 5. Raise your hand, Alex. He was on earlier today. If you missed it, you should have been here. Okay, 2, use social media. Who is not using social media in their store? Now, by social media or mobile, I'm talking Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Yelp. Anybody not doing any of these things? None of them. Okay. 2, that's pretty good. That's an improvement. Okay, we're going to talk specifically about Facebook in a minute, but boy, is that freaking easy to use. I don't know why you're going to do it unless you need 8 more hours in the day. Hire millennials. Well, geez. Let's get some younger people in talking to the younger people, huh? Last thing these kids want to do is walk in and talk to a gray-haired person. Now, I know not all women have gray hair. I don't know why that is, but... Okay, let customers design, custom design. Boy, this is big in the millennial group. Get your website doing custom design or set up a station in the store to do custom design. And it's not 100% custom. Obviously, we know that, but they don't know that. Okay? Reevaluate and freshen your marketing. I am sure most of your marketing is outdated, old news, missing the customer, not getting to them. Go green and engage in cause marketing. Oh my goodness. This is such a wonderful thing. We're all saving the world every day. And we're getting business out of it too. My wife comes home the other day. Sustainable fish at Walmart. I said, well, that's it. We got to get some sustainable jewelry out there. Big push for this. Fair trade gems, non-conflict diamonds. Diamond industry's got a real hurdle to get over in this in the next couple of years, and it's an opportunity for you. But engage in some sort of green, sustainable cause marketing and catch up with Walmart on the fish. Refresh your store's look and feel. Boy, you got to change these showcases around. Stock more affordable jewelry. I'm not saying get rid of the $10,000, $20,000 item. Just saying if you want that woman coming into you instead of buying shoes, you got to have something she's going to buy. And that, by the way, that price point is $199 to $2,000. Okay, take note of trends. Boy, there's never been a better opportunity to see everything that's happening in fashion trends right now. And tell a story, and stop making the story a gemological story. I'm very happy you got your GG, but the consumer doesn't give a rat's tuchus about that. They're buying value, they're buying romance, they're buying an engagement with you, they're buying investment, they're not buying a VV stone. Okay, what's working and what's not at retail jewelry? Not working. Competing with Blue Nile on price, forget it, never gonna happen. They walk in with that quote printed out. You can sell them the mountain. You can sell them the diamond. Don't compete on price, don't even try. One-time product turn, if your product's turning 1.2, 1.5 per year, you'll be out of business in 5 years. Please, you've got to move away from this as quickly as possible. Selling the old customer is not working because they're dying. Saving inventory for your retirement is not working because when Gordon Brothers comes to write you that party check, you're going to be getting a job at Walmart as the greeter. So stop looking at that inventory you bought 15 years ago and say, that's my retirement. It is not. And no other retailer on the planet would ever think that way. Coach has a warehouse in New Jersey just for their returns of what doesn't sell in their stores. They move things out faster than you can blink an eye. If it doesn't sell, they move it, they move the new stuff in 3-4 times a year. That's what you gotta do. Also not working, men talking to men. I got news for you. When a guy comes in the store, they really want to talk to a woman. When a guy comes into any store, they would rather talk to a woman than to a man. I don't care how good a salesman you are. Okay? Also not working, ignoring the internet. We covered that enough already. Relying on direct mail only, the most inefficient advertising you could possibly be doing, even if your catalog is terrific. Okay? And the post office is going to be out of business in 2 years. Old stagnant displays, you might want to have another look at those. What is working? Service, 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 more service. Kill them with service, that's where your margin is. Building a wow factor in your store. Why is your store with 50,000 jewelry doors in America. Why should somebody walk into your door or come back? Is it the display? Is it the smell? Is it the smile on your face? Is it the beautiful women? Is it the incredible inventory? What is the wow factor that somebody will come out of your store and say, wow, I'm telling everybody about this store? Does anybody have a wow factor they can share with us? Come on, there's got to be something. I know somebody that burns incense in their store to give people a beautiful, comfortable odor every time they come in. Yes?
We buy these candles that smell like sugar cookies.
Oh.
And people walk in our store, and plus our store is, we're celebrating our 110th year in business this year.
Oh, God
All
bless.
of our furniture is original, and we're in one of the old-fashioned downtown districts, the street lot. People walk in there and they smell the antique stuff, and they smell cookies, and they're like,
Where are you?
Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Okay, that's exactly what I mean, a wow factor. There's multiple wow factors, yes.
I have to just bring sugar cookies because American Express did a study over 20 years ago, and they discussed scents, and the scent that made people spend more by over 10% was roses. Now, if you want a man to think about sex, you have donuts, and and pumpkin, those two together.
See, I told you I would get a lot out of this. That's good. Another wow factor over here. Okay, yes?
Our workshop is, we brought our workshop where our dealers make the jewelry suitable to the customer right into the center of the shop.
I love that. That's like the restaurants that put their chef right in the...
Right, full immersion. They see it being made, they hear the secret, they see us actually making what they just want.
That is terrific. Where are you located?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great wow factor. Very memorable. So everybody here should have a wow factor. Okay, what else is working? The internet, social media, mobile, and UGC, user-generated content. I want you to go home tonight and get on Facebook, log in. I know you all have your secret accounts you don't tell anybody about. And just start befriending all of the Facebook brands like Levion, like Simon G, and plus all your competitors' fan pages, just to see what they're doing. And we talked about Levion before. I love this guy. And so do a lot of consumers. And one of the reasons he does well on Facebook and Pinterest is his photography is incredibly good. Seems really simple, but believe it or not, in Facebook now, people won't even click away to go to an outside link. They won't even click away to watch a video. They will stare and comment and share Eddie Levion's photos because they are beautiful. So that makes sense that on Pinterest he'd be doing well too. So his photos are shared on a very high level. Facebook calls this virality. So when you're going to do stuff on Facebook, remember that people don't want to read, nobody reads. They don't even want to watch videos, they're not looking at MTV anymore, they want to look at pictures. And boy, you should have some pictures to show them. So I'm really big on you dabbling in social media, and the first thing to do is just go see what everybody else is doing. It couldn't be easier, and it's free. And by the way, when you fish where the fish are. And with 1 billion people, that's where the fish are on Facebook. Okay, sell romance, sell fashion, sell value. Here's another hot tip. Men talking to men is not working. But women talking to women and women talking to men is working big. If a fashion-forward woman that buys 10 pairs of shoes a year walks into your store because she's looking to accessorize her outfit for that night, she doesn't want to talk to me. You got to have product to show her, and you don't need to be a gemological expert. You need to be a fashion expert. And you can make yourself a fashion expert really quickly. So hire some young, good-looking millennial women that can talk to other women about fashion, about color. By the way, you don't accessorize, sorry women, ladies, you don't don't accessorize with white. You accessorize with color because you're matching the shoes, the bag, the belt, the outfit. You don't do it with white. You do it with color. That's my opinion. So new marketing, new store to place, buying diamonds off the street, probably your best value right now. You won't be able to get them any cheaper unless you buy them off the street. Everybody understand what that means? Yes, you've got to buy off the street to get the best prices on diamonds. Because the diamond cutters are competing with you. Color, pearls, and other fashion accessories. Okay, got to move a little quicker now. You guys are slowing me down. Okay, let's look at some of your major competitors. And you will see everything I'm just talking about. They're already doing it. I'm just trying to get you to do it now. Mayors in Florida, anybody know them? Very good store, huh? Okay, they hired this woman, Irma Martinez. I don't know who she is. Okay, maybe she's a superstar. Okay, she's their fashion expert. She has a column on their website. She does in-store appearances. She doesn't talk about VS stones. She talks about accessorizing for women. That's who they're going after. Get on their Facebook page, look at their website, see what they're doing. Hellsbergs, anybody know them? If you don't know them, you really need to get on top of them. Okay? They're owned by Berkshire Hathaway, they're in Kansas City, probably one of the most innovative major chains in America. Anybody know why? Why right now they are booming, doing incredibly well? Anybody have an idea why that might be? Yes. Okay, and who is their marketing? Who runs it? A woman.
They also pay attention to all the online trends and make sure that they're up to date with that. So
absolutely.
The product that they show on social media is always what's hottest and the latest trend.
Right, they run a lot of Facebook contests, a lot of giveaways, a lot of web to in-store transition from them, a lot of couponing. And their CEO is a thank you. Okay? Keep an eye on what they're doing, please. Harry Ritchie's Jewelers out in Portland, Oregon. Anybody know them? Okay, really great family-run business. Grown 3 generations. Now they have a woman running the marketing. They just opened a boutique in Portland in a hotel. It's a fashion/jewelry boutique. What a brilliant idea. JCPenney. Of course, they're struggling with the rest of their business. Their jewelry's doing fine. They are, obviously, they've got a lot of fashion in the rest of the store outside the jewelry counter, but they are really good at jewelry and really good at that self-purchasing woman who happens to be in the store anyway. Julista.com. Anybody know these guys? Okay. I know you guys know them. Anybody else here know them? Okay, this is a site holder. He's giving you the roadmap for what to do. This is a diamond site holder who realized he can't even make money in the diamond business anymore, so he's competing with you by putting up a jewelry site that is nothing more than a fashion advisory site that also happens to sell jewelry. And every day they talk about trends and color and diamonds and diamond earrings and what goes with what and what. All cater to the self-purchasing woman. Okay, this is going to shock you, but this is a major competitor to anybody selling diamonds now, and they don't even sell diamonds. Their company is Diamond Nexus. Anybody heard of them? You have. What do you know about them? Very good. They sell CZs and they call them diamond alternatives. And they sell $40 million a year on the web. And they have 2 stores. One in Milwaukee and one in Chicago in that giant mall outside Chicago. They are so into social media and Google AdWords and search engine optimizations, they don't even do any traditional advertising anymore. Everything they do feeds off the web. They don't sell one diamond, they sell CZs for $500 to $2,000 in rings. Yeah, go to their website, it is unbelievable. If you don't believe me and you don't think consumers want the fashion story, the romance story, Go there and see it. It's not gemological, believe me. There's no gemology in it. It's CZs. Some people even think it's cheating. But $40 million a year, somebody's believing it. Okay, here's Blue Nile. Okay, they sent me this email the other day. Last month. This is Peridot. They're trying to sell me, I don't think so, Peridot. They're trying to sell women Peridot because they hit $300 million in diamond sales. They're a publicly traded company. When you're publicly traded, you have to have growth every year. Well, when you hit $300 million in diamond sales, whether you're on the web or in a store, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get much more. There's not much more room to grow there, and the margin of the product keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So they fired everybody and hired all the people from other consumer goods industries. And the first thing they said is, we've got to get to a new category, a new demographic. We've got to get to women. We're not going to do it with diamonds. We've got to go with color. They're bringing in all new product, all new vendors, just to sell to self-purchasing women. Okay. The future is inventory management for you. The number one potential cause of your demise is going to be poor inventory management. You have to develop product, you have to buy product at this show for today's market, not yesterday's. You have to review your current stock. Anything over 3 months is not going to sell. Remove dead stock, even if you sell it at a loss. Many retailers, yes sir? I'm going to tell you who told me that. Next slide. And then I mean the next 3 months or the last 3 months. Okay? Many independent retailers have clandestine, that means secret, eBay sites where they sell off their dead inventory. If you're not doing that, I recommend doing it. Branded or unbranded. Don't leave dead inventory in your showcases. Balance, remake, scrap, buy new. Religiously read your daily sales and inventory reports to see what is not moving and what is moving. This is from Don Green Focus PMI. This is where I got that figure from. Please, this guy is like Yoda for the jewelry industry. Does anybody know who he is, Don Green Focus? Okay. He has got the most unbelievable head and brain capacity in the jewelry industry. People come to him from all over the world to learn about inventory management. He wants to get your price point higher and your dead stock gone, and he will show you by looking at a computer printout of your inventory how to do it. If you can't do it on your own, please call Don Green, because he knows how to do it for you. The future. Who knows Polygon? Okay, Polygon was developed by a guy named Jacques Voorhees. He later sold it out, and now he's got a new thing. It's called gemfling.com. It is a search engine just for jewelry. And it is like Google, but it's just for jewelry. When you want to go buy an air ticket, you don't go to Google, you go to Expedia. Jacques has put a new platform together to help you, the independent, get local search results from your consumers. I suggest you check it out, Gemfling. This is a QR code. It's very new technology. There's a guy by the name of Casey Ford, who many of you know, from Tap-In. He is leading this in the jewelry industry. Mobile marketing, as the phones evolve, is going to become a very big part of your marketing mix. So you have not checked out QR codes. It's very easy. I use it myself. It's really worth looking into. Early days on this, but you might as well get ahead of the curve. If you have not read this book, Wikinomics, I suggest you check it out. It is really what the web is all about. Community, engagement, getting your customer to be part of your business instead of keeping them on the other side of the counter exclusively. And finally, I know many of you know Bill Boyashin from GIA fame. He's now on his own doing a lot of leadership. and coaching and writing, and he's a terrific resource for the independent retailer. And he is accessible to you. So I suggest you have a look at his book or his website and check him out. And that concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions before I get kicked out. We're going to get ready for Shannon. Thank you. Yes, sir. No. Yes, you can. There's printouts or scan that QR code or send me an email. Yes. Oh, I'll give you a couple of them. To make your own thing? Oh, there's a lot of them. You go into Google, type in build free website, hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. And by the way, I just want props to Alex again. He can help you really with jewelry specific. Terrific product. Anybody else?
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you very much.